when I'm not cleaning up my mess at home because I'm messy. I do a ton of video games, which we talked about this before. I've been video gaming since the 80s,
Uh,
and it is how I recharge myself, man. Like this week is Summer Games Fest on online. So I've been spending all my time at home watching game trailers, getting hyped up about stuff because it's how I entertain myself. I think of video games as interactive story time, right? I love telling myself stories in these universes. I do a lot of logistics games, which is kind of, they call them survival games, survival and logistics games, and it's like, you're building stuff or you're constructing things or building a spaceship or something. I am also really into sci-fi. So most of the games I play are sci-fi based. I have one IP that is just my absolute damn favorite. Poor Akira has to listen to me talk about it all the time, and I'm talking about 40K, Warhammer 40K, favorite thing in the world. And if you don't know what 40K is, guys, it's a tabletop game by a company called Games Workshop.
so like with dice and a board and everything? Oh wow,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Okay.
they do. It is tabletop gaming, think D&D, but to be honest, I've never actually played a full game because you have to build little miniature figures, and then you have to paint them, and you have to paint a lot of them to have an army, right?
Of course.
And I usually get about 3 figures into any particular army, and then I wanna paint another army. So my collection of Warhammer figurines is many small collections of separate factions they can't play together. So
Just to have them all, you gotta
in all my years, I have never painted enough to have a full army to play this shit. But this is what I love about 40K, guys. There are a ton of ways to enjoy 40K, right? I feel like I'm doing a commercial, but we're going to go ahead through this anyway.
No.
So you can play video games, which there are tons of Warhammer 40K based video games.
And they're different from each other, but 40K is like the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You got
okay.
your
See, I'm like-
first-person shooters. You got your strategy. You got your 4X. And if you ever play games like Civilization, it's kind of turn-based stuff. There's so many ways. And there's one coming out that I am so excited for in September. It's called Space Marine 2.
Space Marine. Okay.
Space Marine 2, guys. Go look it up, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about because you may not find me in a couple weeks in September. I ain't gonna be here.
At home gaming.
I'm
Dabbing and
I'm
gaming.
gonna figure out a way to not fucking be here because I have a lot of work to do. But no, man, I read a lot of books too, usually science fiction based. Other thing about 40K is about 300-400 books you can read.
Wow.
So
it's a whole universe here. It's
oh yeah,
a game. Okay.
bro, I'm
Wow.
extremely, but it's lore. We call it lore these days, right? And 40K lore, I am very versed because I've read about 70 of those books. Because I'm gonna read every single one, bro.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna read every single one. So video games, 40K. I spend time with my wife and my family as much as I can. I don't have any kids, but me and my wife very much enjoy our time together. And then, I have a brother. We spend a lot of time together, me and my brother Brian.
Brian.
Brian and I have struggled together through life, and we're finally at this point in our life when we're both good to go, right? And we're building things together again because I started this business with Brian, my brother, and then we kind of grew apart, but now we're growing much more back together because listen, your siblings, guys. If